Hey everybody, and welcome along to this week's edition of the Irish Golfer Podcast. Peter Finnan here, and joined in studio by Ronan McNamara.
I notice how it's not joined as always anymore. It's just joined whenever.
joined whenever we get a chance. It's been mental. Like, it has been another mad couple of weeks. So it's been 2.5, nearly 3 weeks since we brought you the last recording. We've been here, there, and everywhere. You've been at Challenge Tour final.
We have been busy.
You were over there. We've been busy. I've been,
despite public opinion.
Yeah, despite public opinion, I've been gallivanting around the world looking at all the new golf equipment for next year. So seen pretty much everything now and doing all those tests for sort of January time when all these new launches come in. Seen everything bar ping. So yeah, been here, there, and everywhere, from most places in Europe, across in Carlsbad with TaylorMade a few weeks ago as well. So yeah, just been relentless on the go. But no, all good stuff. Lots of stuff to get stuck into this week. Before we do, we'd like to just give a special shout out to Flowgas, who have sponsored the podcast for most of this year, the few episodes that we have churned out. Visit flowgas.ie. Like we say relentlessly on the podcast when we do hit record, they support golf really, really well, so it's good to support them back. So visit flowgas.ie. We are most definitely in the winter season now. I think we're forecast for a bit of snow this week as well, so they've plenty of packages up there for the winter time. So yeah,
time for the yellow ball.
Exactly. There's only one place to start with this. DP World Tour final on in Dubai. Plenty of storylines. Biggest storyline, obviously, Rory McIlroy. Unbelievable finish to the year. I don't know what your thoughts or feelings on Rory is, on where he's at, on what he did, but like, some way to end the season.
Yeah, and like, it probably gives him maybe justification and a bit of closure, because after the US Open, you're thinking this just could be a disaster of a year. After missing the cut in the Open, and then it looked like it was just going to be a year of a string of near misses, but the Race to Dubai title was never really in doubt, which, you know, probably doesn't reflect too well on the DP World Tour, really. But to have 6 and to be up alongside Seve and be one closer to Monty, I mean, it's great for him. Like, obviously his career will be judged on majors, but like, this still matters to his legacy. Like, if he can get to 9,
big time,
9 European Order of Merit wins or whatever it's going to be after this peace deal, like, if he can still get to 9 of whatever it is, it'll still look really well on his CV at the end of his career. No,
it is good. And he just loves it out in the desert, doesn't he? He loves it in Dubai. Like, he's some seriously good results there. Always does well around. It's just, yeah, I'm like, you know, I'm a big Rory fanboy. I'm just happy he's ended the season in a good place. Like, that's been a really tough year for Rory McIlroy, and we've gone into it both on and off the court. And I was actually surprised. I'd say a lot of the emotion that he let out yesterday, like, they ham up the Seve thing a lot, and they ham up that. I just think it just hit him personally to have Poppy and Erica there, to realise, right, this is the end. I'm pulling the shutters down in this season. I don't think he was getting emotional about the on-course stuff as much as he would have been feeling the off-course, or the off-course stuff and the personal stuff, because he addressed it himself straight away, saying, you know, when he was talking to Tim about that. So I was just happy for him that he's ended the season in a really nice way. He's worked hard, like, over the last couple of months to get his act together, and you could tell in his game, his wedge play, his iron play was savage. Like, I know McGinley was going into it a lot on, like, that's something that he's struggled with over the last couple of seasons, and it's still not the complete performance. Like, he should have won that tournament doing handstands. He's flawed.
He's in transition at the moment.
He totally is. But he has definitely found something, this, like, retooling of his golf swing in recent weeks, and he's talking about off-course stuff and working in simulation and not so much seeing ball flight, just going through. It does seem to be working for him. I hope he's found something that he can bring in to 2025, but like, I'm ever the optimist with Rory McIlroy, but he does always find form in October, November, hits the ground running really fast, will do something like might win the Arnold Palmer Invitational or something, Bay Hill.
He win the Dubai Desert Classic.
Yeah, and then the shit hits the fan in like late March. He misses a cut or two and then has a nightmare at the Masters. But like, I'm hoping he can rewrite that template this year. Like, if anything he'll learn from this year is his mental fortitude was tested, like we're saying, on and off the course, and he stood up to that. And I think he'll be very happy with himself coming away with that season from what he's learned and how he's coping with life in general. I think he's in a good place going into next year. And when you look at where the majors are next year, like, you know, they're two of his favourite courses in the world, Quail Hollow and Royal Portrush, two of the majors for next year.
That's how he makes it worse.
It probably does, but, you know, he's no excuses. Like, he's going to be up for it anyway, but it's it's a great way to end the season for him, and, yeah, really, really good. But it was, like we're saying, it's still a flawed win. A win is a win, but he just goes to sleep sometimes. It's hard to...
Like, I'm obviously happy he won, and I could tell it meant a great deal to him, but I don't really buy into the fact that this is... Like, it's obviously a good thing that he won, but I don't buy into it that it's something that's going to progress him in any way. Like, he was in transition. It doesn't reflect too well, I think, on the players around him that they couldn't beat him over the 4 days. Like, there were so many times it looked like he was just going to pull away into the sunset. Like, he was 3-4 shots clear at one point, and he just kind of hands it back then. And these bouts of, like, just brain fog or losses of concentration that just continue to plague him. Like, I know he's working on his technique and everything, but the mental aspect, not in terms of feeling the pressure, but just losing his focus and losing his edge. Like, I think if he was playing even a 8 out of 10 ranked PGA Tour event, he wouldn't have won this.
Yeah, and I there's no question in that, yeah, because I don't know what it is with Rory, like, and I actually had this debate with my brother over text about 2 weeks ago, just talking about Rory, and, like, it's very hard to put your finger on what he needs to do, but I just think he just needs to put the accelerator on from the very start of tournaments and start blowing fields away, because it's like he gets bored doing the A to B to C stuff that he'll do in his sleep, and that always allows, like, just a flawed error of judgment or a bad shot at the wrong time or whatever. Like, Rory McIlroy should be putting fields to the sword like this on a Saturday, not on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, he should be winning these tournaments. Like, he played the golf, but on his day he will, but he never puts the 4 rounds together of relent. It's very hard to do, but he's good enough to do it, and he's done it in the past. And I think that's one thing that I hope he's in the mindset of. Like, I know you talk to different players and they tell you different things. Like, Padraig Harrington would be a real, you know, you can't win it on Thursday, but you can definitely lose it on Thursday mentality and save yourself for Sunday. I think Rory's young enough, fit enough, strong enough, mentally strong enough that he should be going out on Thursday like it's a Sunday and just go at it and just...
Yeah. Well, it's reflected in his scoring as well on Friday. 4 birdies in 7 holes, then stalls with 2 bogeys, doesn't birdie his way in from there. Round 3, he'd 4 birdies in 6 holes, and then parred all the way from 13 to 18. And then obviously yesterday he'd 4 birdies in a row, then stalled it with 2 bogeys and kind of turned it around at the end as well. But, like, he still hit some pretty poor shots because he's working on his technique, and that's not really a problem. And that's to be expected. But it's just this habit of taking the foot off the gas, throwing in a careless error, a careless bogey, like overshooting the green with the chip. Like,
it's stuff you don't see from Scheffler and Morikawa and guys like that, or not Morikawa, but like Xander.
They'll go through a run where, like, McIlroy's going through a run here, he might have 6 or 7 pars on the trot, but those runs will be interrupted by a bogey on the 4th hole, a bogey on the 6th hole maybe, or the 7th hole, whereas those lads might pick up a birdie in that 7-hole stretch. He doesn't seem to do that.
He is, like, you know, by his ball striking now, though. And I think Shane Lowry will have a lot to do with this as well. He's played a lot with Shane this year, a lot more than any other year. And he sees how good Shane is approach-wise. That's where Shane closes the gap with him. Like, obviously off the tee, Rory is just... Like, there's no one on the planet will touch him off the tee. But when he starts honing in his approach play like he is, not just his wedges, because I think his wedges are very close. And we've seen over the last month how good he can be with the flat stick when it goes. Like, you would question certain things throughout the season that have happened, and everyone will just jump on the US Open performance. But that was a really good putting performance that week as well. Like he was a great putter that week. He just 70 whatever, the 68th hole and the 72nd hole missed 2 short ones, and that's the difference. But I'm in a good spot looking into Rory in 2025. I always am when it comes to this time of the year, and he makes it easy when you see him in the desert, and he'll come out at the start of next year, like you're saying, in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and look like he's going to take on the world again. He always does, and it's just to see what he does after that. But this line that he's going down now and working on his irons, working on his approach play, he knows exactly what he needs to do, and I think he's in a good place to do it.
Yeah, I swear to God, like, I don't know how long I'm on this podcast, but you say this every year.
I know, and I always will. But no, it was good to see. Like, he wasn't in full flow. He wasn't even in like 3/4 flow, but he did enough. But like, in fairness to,
but he just sucks you in. Like that's like we're saying here. You should have pulled away. If Scheffler was like started like he did on Sunday, you'd borderline turn off the television. Whereas Rory, you just know he's. Yeah, not going to. Yeah,
there's a Mayo in there always. There's something that'll happen always. Like, there's just, but no, it was really good. It was really it is like when you look at how it's structured, and there's so many layers to the fairness or the unfairness of it. Like, he's only played in 12 DP World Tour events this year, and that's including majors and stuff like that as well. So like, he hasn't set foot on European soil too often. Wins this easy enough. Like, Thurston Lawrence had a chance to try and do him. It's just the points are so well stacked in to the majors and the Rolex events and stuff like that it doesn't, like, played in 12 events, but like he had 4 runner-ups along with 4 wins, recorded 8 top 5 finishes in the 12 events that he played. So like, it is fairly relentless, and like, they're all massive points events that he's played, all 12 of those events. So like,
yeah, I just don't think the race to Dubai or old European Order of Merit means what it meant.
No, it doesn't. And every year that it goes on, it's eroded even more and more and more. And even now with Ryder Cup standings, like, they're nearly making it irrelevant for the Ryder Cup as well.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just going off the world list, but that's a whole new discussion as well. We'll get into Ryder Cup later on in the because the lads had some serious home truths at the start of this week about the lads wanting to get paid, but we'll get stuck into that again.
Jesus,
do you think they ham up the Seve thing a bit too much sometimes?
A little bit, yeah. They have, yeah. Like, it's the same in America though as well. They hype it up with some legend that you've never heard of. Well, like, Seve, I think
what the Seve, I always find the dynamic of it really strange now.
You're going to ask me what Seve means to me.
No, well, Seve means a lot to my jet. Like, I'm 15 years older than you, right? So I remember seeing Seve. I've seen him play golf. I've watched him at events. You probably haven't really.
No.
Wouldn't have the same, but they'd have the same sort of thing now with like the Hodgegaards coming through and guys like that. Ryder Cup wise, lads in Ryder Cup. It's coming to a time now where the Seve thing mightn't work as well. They don't have that emotional feeling toward. Like, Rory and Lowry are 2 of the last Seve generation that would have been watching them, whereas the young lads these days, they don't really idolise Seve like we did growing up, and you'd be in that. I'm just interested in that dynamic. No,
that's fair. And I was going to say, I think like Europeans or Europe in general, I think it's a thing generally this side of the water anyway, like, especially in England and Ireland, we do hype up, quote unquote legends to a higher regard than you would in America. Like, and we really do play on the term legacy in everything as well. And we'll get into that with the pay debate, but the Seve thing, like, sure, who was the captain in 2012? Ollie, of course. He made them wear the silhouettes on the Sunday and had the
played famous in navy kind of and white as well.
Yeah, as well. And we do kind of dip into that a lot as Europeans as well, and so I think like, Seve doesn't really mean that much to me because I never saw him play. So, but I do. He's still a legend to me as well because you're brought up knowing that he's a legend. Yeah. Like, it's like seeing, like, supporting a club. But
it's like you, Liverpool, Bill Shankly.
Legend. Great man.
That's the ring. Never met the man in my life. Legend. But that's the same type thing.
Never met the man, but I feel like I know.
Yeah, what he stands for, you like. It's just it's an
like,
interesting.
It's like going to an Ireland game and singing about Italia 90. It's like, I haven't a clue.
Wasn't born.
No.
No, that's it. No, well, let's not talk about Ireland after yesterday. But no, there's just an interesting dynamic on the Seve thing. Getting sidetracked. Right, there was a lot more at play here outside of just Rory McIlroy and his little cakewalk, but there's these top 10 PGA Tour cards. Tom McKibbin, unbelievable. Like, what a performance.
Yeah, no, fair play to him. Like, kind of fell over the line, but got over the line in the end, and that's all that matters. And it definitely stand to him that he went and birdied the last when he needed to.
100%. Because he felt it down. You could tell in his interview afterwards and the stuff that he's like, he just, I think he thought he had blown it with the bogeys, late on bogeys. Like,
well, it's a different experience. You know, you're 10th or 11th in a leaderboard, and you know you can kind of go through the motions, but it's tough to keep intact that you're actually still playing for something here as well. And I don't know, was he doing maths in his head and things like that, thinking about what do I need here and there coming home? But it's a completely different scenario than being Rory McIlroy and just trying to win a golf tournament as well.
Yeah. So
he did have that on his shoulders, but I don't think it would have been the worst thing in the world if he hadn't got his card this year. You'd only be delaying the inevitable as well. So
but you have to, when the doors
open, you have
open,
to take it when it's there for you as well.
You just never know. That's the thing. You just, like, I think, like, he's up to 105th in the world now, world ranking wise, right?
And he's been remarkably consistent and gets, feck all for it, really.
Yeah, like, you say that, like, he's still,
world ranking wise, he has got nothing.
Yeah, world ranking wise, and that is the separator. Like, that is the thing. Going to the States now next year, being able to play in bigger field event, like even the average, like the Buttered Bread Championship they were playing this week, whatever it's called, the Butter Cup Invitational. We get into that in a minute. They're still paying for $8 to $10 million. Compared to that's a Rolex event in Europe, of which we only have 3 or 4 of them. But they're the difference, and the world rankings are stacked. He will cement his place in there, but I'm just so happy for him for what he's done. Like, he's played a lot of golf, 27 events, same as Rory. Actually, Rory played a lot of events this year, but he's only a matter of time before breaking into the world's top 100. He's staying out in Dubai. I was chatting to him yesterday briefly. Staying out in Dubai for the next couple of weeks. He's going to play in Dunhill and the Nedbank in South Africa. So South Africa a couple of times between now and Christmas, and then he'll focus on the States. But it's just the margins are so fine. Like, Jordan Smith will be sick today. Yeah, that missed out by 10 and a half points. It's probably 50 quid in earnings, and the difference. All right, McKibbin opens himself up to PGA Tour card. They get £500,000 seed cash as well for going over there, for making that transition to try and do it. And when you look at the list of guys that are going across there, so Nikolai missed out. So Nikolai was last year's Jordan Smith, missed out literally by a shot.
Yeah, on Rasmus Højgaard, you mean?
Rasmus, sorry.
Sure, it's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing, yeah. So Rasmus, he joins the brother across. Then you've Thurston Lawrence, Paul Waring, Jasper Svensson, Norgard, Matteo Manassaro. Go on, Matteo. He's going to do damage next year in the States. Torbjörn Olsen, Rosner. I was delighted to see Rosner. He was so emotional at the end. I was. They're real life stories, and McGinley hit the nail on the head when he was talking about it. You don't see that on the PGA Tour. You see, they don't show it on TV enough. It's the same as Q School, and we'll get into Q School in a minute on stuff. You don't see that emotion and that. This is Rosner's life, and he sees what happened with his French compadre last year, and what he's done and changed his life kicking on as well. So there, I said it, kicking on.
That's fair.
It's massive.
I can't believe he's on the PGA Tour after what he did in Italy.
Yeah, but
I cannot believe it.
He's had a good season.
I think outside of Højgaard, Lawrence, McKibbin, and Manassero, it's such a modest list of golfers.
Yeah, but we would have said that this time last year.
I know.
Like
And
Bob McIntyre went on and won.
Yeah, true.
Twice.
Fair. No, I
Two
know.
of them won
I'm
on
not-
the PGA
I'm not
Tour.
saying you're wrong, but it just is.
6 of them have kept their card from last year, and 2 of them have won. So like it's mad. And it does say a lot about golf's ecosystem. Like Liv have done a lot of harm to professional golf, but we've never seen more joined up thinking in succession, access, tours feeding into each other, and having to do something to stay alive. And this is really good. Like this access is really good, and it's been proved last year that it doesn't harm the DP World Tour at all. That like the guys that got their cards went on, did what they did, and they drop back, they play. Like they're not the greatest of PGA Tour cards. Like outside Nikolai or Rasmus, we just call him Hodgie. outside him that won the top card, like he'll get into a few of the early Siggy events. The rest of them just standard events, but you have your chance to play your way on. Like someone like Paul Waring as well, that's life changing.
Yeah, that's a great story.
It's so good. It is so good. So I'm delighted with that. But yeah, Tom McKibbin, he just stepped up. He stepped up in the big events, which will bring him in great stead. Like, you know, in when he needed top 10s at the end of the season, like he took the 2 weeks off before Abu Dhabi and Dubai, worked his arse off on his game out there. And like I know you put a piece up the other day, like he finished 41 birdies and 2 eagles in his last 2 events.
Yeah.
Like,
and he took a risk as well.
He did.
Taking those couple of weeks off because he was inside and then by not
Dropped
playing
out.
he fell out, yeah.
and there was 2 lads that, like Guido Migliozzi was ahead of him, and Jordan Smith and guys like that. So he trusted himself. Like he's done well. He like outside it, like he's hit 2.5 million in career earnings now.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years. So like it's a big deal. It is a big deal, and you know he will do really, really well in the States. And all that this year, like pro golfers are so, like he's only 21 years of age now, but pro golfers are so, the minutest of change means a big deal in your equipment, in your ball and stuff like. He literally started off with a fresh blank canvas this year, moved from TaylorMade that he was gaming last year into Callaway, and full new bag of gear, brand new golf ball. So there's a lot of trust factors going on at the start of the season. He settled in, hit the ground running on that, loves the gear, and yeah, more power to him.
Yeah, and this year was, like, even if he didn't get his card, this year was a much better season than last year, even though he won last year.
Yeah.
He was just far more consistent. Game clearly went up a level. 2 good performances at the US Open and the Open Championship as well. So yeah, I think it's right that he got his card. I think he is a better player than Jordan Smith. Definitely a better player than Sebastian Soderberg, who, you know, true to character, was up there the whole year long. And when they got to the last, I don't.
You don't like this fella.
Neither does Mark. when they got to the last hurdle, feel bad for Migliotti as well. I thought he might get a card this year, but no, like there's big opportunity, and Tom's already won in America as well. Yeah, Florida Mini Tour.
No, it's good. His game is set up for it. Like he is gonna kick on. There's no he is.
He's got 3-year phrases in there in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Kicking on, kick on, ecosystem.
Right. Who else? Lowry. Like it was a great week for the Irish. Like, yeah, like there's some lads giving Lowry awful abuse in our social channels over the last. One lad in particular, like, just keeps calling him a choker. Like keeps calling, like, because he had a bad final round in Abu Dhabi, and then lads on him on his case again. He's had an unbelievably good season.
Yeah, so consistent. He had 5 top 13 finishes in a row coming into this week, and you know, at least he booked that trend. But I think it's a real year of what could have been for Larry. I mean, you look at his results even before those. That string of top 13 finishes. He was 8th in the Tour Championship, 13th in the BMW in one of the FedEx Cup events, 6th in the Open, 9th in the Travelers, top 20 at the US Open, 6th at the PGA. I mean, like, the list just goes on. Missed 2 cuts since last year's Irish Open.
That is just relentless golf. And it's the best string of golf he's ever played in his life.
And this is a guy who thought he might be getting too
finished.
old.
Yeah, well, I was calling him out his time last year.
He was starting to get worried about his age, and he was thinking, oh, you know, if you don't, not many golfers are great now once they get into their 40s.
Yeah.
Like he's played the golf of his life without winning.
And it's never been a better time to be a professional golfer and racking up top tens, like, because every week he's playing in $20 million events. He opened himself into all the Siggies last year, did well, like all the big events he's done well in, and he is going to be a big danger into next year. Yeah. He is, if he keeps the mentality that he has now, the hunger, and which he is only going one way, and yeah, it's great to see a bounce back from him. It's so good. We're just blessed that we have these three guys up there, like, and like it's the succession of it all.
It's mad though, like tied third in an event where the winner got over 2 million. Yeah, and his world ranking didn't change. 28th. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It just sums up. It sums up the
whole. You should be getting into the top 20 for that.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the whole way it's weighted. That's why McKibbin will thrive in the States, like, because it's all about world rankings. It's not about money anymore.
No, you get bang for your buck with your top 20s.
Exactly, yeah. Top 20s are like, you know, as good as a top 5 on a DP World Tour event. Probably more.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, it is. It's mad. Right. Speaking of, like, you know, Tom McKibbin does what he does. He's moving off the DP World Tour. You think we've won less, but you were over in the Challenge Tour final there the week before last with Connor Purcell. Again, something we called at the start of the year. He's an assassin.
Yeah, I think we both predicted that he'd get up this year. So
and he did it at ease.
When we do have our like review pod and our predictions, we won't look too bad on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it with ease in the end. It's funny where we say McKibbin had a better year this year, even though he didn't win. Purcell kind of maybe sacrificed a bit of the consistency that he might have had last year or the year before and going on, but he got 2 big wins this year at the right times as well. Yeah, like he got a win obviously in Northern Ireland. Getting your first win is obviously massive, and then after kind of a poor enough run after that, he kind of got back on the horse and got a big win in China, which was a double pointed event as well, which just sealed the deal for him. Yeah, and then in Mallorca, he was just not going through the motions, but the job was done really, and he qualified at his ease.
No, he's really, really good. And like, again, like it's mad. It's how relentless the thing is. He's good in Australia. He always has been good in the Sandbelt. Loves it down there. He actually got a top 3 or 4 at a DP World Tour event there.
Yeah, tied 7 at the Aussie Open a couple of years back.
So that starts next week.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing that.
No, he's not. But like
it's due some time off. In fairness to him,
but it's mad how relentless it is. Like that, we're just out of Dubai and straight away, like the 2025 season starts next week.
Yeah, there should be some sort of break, but then the PGA Tour is the same.
Yeah. No, it is mental, but no, delighted he's got his card. We'll actually you've sat down and did a full interview with him. We'll stick that up as a separate podcast later on this week. That you sat down with him over there in whereabouts were you? Oh, in Spain.
Where Mallorca, Club de Golf Alcanada.
So we'll stick that up. Max Kennedy as well.
Yeah, bang unlucky. Yeah, what a run! Like 64 in probably the biggest round of your life so far.
So this is Q School for anyone that wasn't tuning in last week. Q School, like we had a few of them made the cut. Well, he's the only one that made the actual cut.
A few of them made the cut. We had 3 players playing. One of them made the cut and came within an inch of getting a DP World Tour card. But to secure a challenger status as well is obviously a massive achievement at this stage of his career. Still an amateur, of course, but I mean, he really turned it on in that final round. Like, he'd been pretty solid. Like, he'd shot 5 under par rounds to that point, but he was at the stage where those 70s need to be turned into 68s, and those 68s need to become 66s, and then started off really badly, actually. Bogeyed his 3rd hole, then 8 birdies in 9 holes. He actually got himself into the top 20 in ties, which is what was needed for a card. And just by virtue of finishing earlier than everybody else, or the lads kind of got the one up on him. But it did go down to the last couple of holes, like with other lads playing as well. But obviously disappointing for him. Like, if you're not taking away everything after shooting a 64 and when you needed it most, like, there's something wrong with you. Like, that's going to stand to him.
Oh, well, like, Max is someone, I know you've said it for a long time.
He's hitting drivers off decks like in Q school.
But when you look at what he's done, he's just literally bypassed 20 guys in the Irish golf system that, like, you know, have turned pro in the last year or two, don't have many places to play. Like, you look at like Alex Maguire and guys like that, no status, Mark Power. Yeah. It's tough. It is tough. And even guys that Alps Tour lads that like Liam Graham or, you know, Nolan's and like there's so many lads that just looking for a chance, and the separator is just when you have a chance like that, just running through that door, and Max seems to have that X factor.
He does, yeah. He's not afraid to be aggressive and go low, which is actually what you need on the Challenge Tour as well. I think that style of golf will suit him. Sean
Keeling has a sprinkle of that as well, like, but he's just that little bit younger.
Yeah, just who can just be explosive for an hour and a half, 2 hours in a round. That's
when people are falling by the wayside and you're throwing birdies in, like, and that's what he did. Like, people were calving down that back nine in Q school, and he's like firing birdies in, like, and it's impressive. It's so alien to some people not to feel that pressure.
Lipped out in the last as well from around 10, 11, 12 feet as well,
which would have got him as card.
Yeah, looking back, but at that stage you think he's missed the putt, but he still, you know, might be enough. But it just goes to show dangerous to dwell on that.
He kind of had no pressure on him going into that final round because he'd secured his Challenge Tour card anyway. Once you make the last two rounds, free roll of the dice. He was like tied 36th or 40th or something going into the final round. So he's like, target golf, just go at everything. But it just goes to show that mentality. Still to be able to do it when you get close, because I'm sure he knew.
I'm sure at some stage, he thought, right,
4 holes to play. He's like, Jesus Christ, I'm in the top 20.
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah.
It's brilliant, but it's good. It's just nice to see, because we go back to this time last year and we were freaking out about like players dropping off tour and lads losing their cards, and where's the next generation coming from? Where's the next wave coming from? And we're on to Neil Manship about stuff, and we're, you know, turning over stones and saying, what is going on here? It's nice to see Irish lads moving through the system now, and guys taking us. So, you know, Conor Purcell goes to the main tour, Tom McKibbin goes to the PGA Tour, Max Kennedy's going on to Challenge Tour, you know, and like guys as well securing their Alps Tour cards the other day as well. Who got the Alps stuff? Come on.
Liam Nolan, actually, now that you mention it, got his card. John Murphy got his card. Mark Boucher got his card. So there was, Hugh Foley got some status as well, playing his first. Does it count as an event as a professional Q school? Do you count it?
No.
But no, there was, look, Alps Tour is a tough school, so
school of hard knocks.
It really, really is. And even the way, like, without the Euro Pro, like, you can see these lads are just scrambling for starts, aren't they?
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough because Clutch doesn't seem to have the same impetus as before, as like Euro Pro did, as a straightforward top 5 get cards. There's a lot of gimmicks to the Clutch. It's a nice place to play, but it's expensive, and it's a little bit.
Alex Maguire, like, has status in the Alps. Didn't really play it last year at all.
Yeah.
But like, it's good to see John Murphy getting back on the horse next year as well.
Yeah.
Like, can't get any lower, to be honest. So hopefully he can get back and play the golf we all know he can play.
Now, there you go.
I'm being optimistic.
Pulling my cliches out of the bag now.
What?
No, it was good. It was good. On the PGA Tour then, just dipping back into stuff that happened over the weekend. I don't know, did you watch any of this? I was, the Buttered Bread or whatever it's called, the Buttered Field Bermuda Championship. I haven't watched the PGA Tour since the FedEx Cup properly.
No.
Like, highlights, that's all I'm doing.
Even then, my interest had fairly waned at that stage.
It's so shite.
Oh, it's terrible.
It is terrible. It's a terrible product when it's not, when there's other stuff going on. Like, I would watch European Tour golf, obviously, above and beyond most of the PGA Tours. It's just so hard to get. But, like, you're literally watching it. We're not just watching it for the Irish lads. And but there was a nice fairy tale story with Puerto Rico's Rafael Campos.
Yeah, I'm saying this all year about those not signature events on the PGA Tour, the sort of smaller ones. Because nobody's playing in them, you're going to get rags to riches story nearly every week, and I'm kind of sick of it now at this stage.
Well, he's done well for himself. Like, that's his first win.
Like we mentioned Paul Waring there. There is another journeyman.
Yeah.
Who's sort of just been chilling out, middle of the road, picking up a few quid here and there. Now his career has changed. He's got the Masters and PGA Championship to look forward to as well.
And a new baby.
And a new baby
last week.
That won't bode well for the golf.
No. No, but it's good to see. But Séamus Power saved his best for last, closed with a 65 6 under to finish 23rd at this event. So he's in 55th now in the FedEx Cup Fall Series, remains on course. He needs to stay 51st, between 51st and 60th in this week's event, which is the RSM Classic in Sea Island in Georgia. If he stays in that top 60, then he'll be in AT&T and the Genesis at Riv early next year in signature events. So that's good.
Yeah, I think a lot would have to go wrong for him to miss out on a place as well.
He's been through a lot. I didn't know, like, you did stuff last week and there was calls with him. I didn't know he had, like, skin cancer stuff
he did. He mentioned it at the Irish Open. He was kind of having a scan on, like, a lesion.
But he was quite downbeat about, like, he didn't go into detail, but he's gone into a lot of detail now in the last few weeks. Yeah,
he has, and thankfully all was clear. But, like, you think about where he was at the Open last year and kind of starting off 2023. Like, he'd just come off a win at the Butter Cup Championship, as you mentioned. And all seemed to be rosy. He was a Ryder Cup contender and everything and all the rest of that. And then this hip injury was definitely a lot more serious than he ever let on. He only really sort of got back to his form in the summer this year. Like, started off this year pretty poorly as well, and you're kind of wondering, like, the whole thing about Harrington says, you know, players get 18 months, 2 years of a peak. You're starting to fear, was this Séamus's peak? He got his 2 wins and in quick succession, but, like, he's been very solid since. Made the FedEx Cup playoffs again, which was an achievement given his circumstances. But yeah, he's been through a lot health-wise as well, and yeah, like, it's good to see him back because he definitely lost a lot. That hip injury affected him a lot more than he let on. Like, his speed was down and everything as well, and we all know you lose a couple of miles an hour, you're playing catch up to everybody else. So to get into the 2 signature events next year, hopefully, that really does give him a leg up to start the season as well. Yeah, because he needs to get back into that top 100 and start pushing up again. Yeah, and he will. I think he will. If he can get a clean bill of health and a clean road ahead of him, I think he will. Yeah. On that though, it's a good segue into 18 months, 2 years to do your damage. Looking at the LPGA Tour, Leona Maguire had a nervous weekend. Yeah, and it's funny, like, results this year other than the Aramco in England, wasn't it? Yeah. London, yeah, Aramco London. Other than that, results haven't gone our way on the course at all. Well, and any of the big events. And then when it was taken out of her hands, she finally got a break, and yeah, she got away with one this week. There's no doubt about that. She slipped outside the top 60 when she missed the cut, and then fortunately enough, other players just collapsed, which is generally what happens anyway when pressure comes on. She's back in, ended up only slipping from 57 to 58 in the CME rankings. There's actually only one change as well, kind of around that top 60 bubble, which was a bit weird. Thought it'd be more dramatic than that. But yeah, Saganda played her way in. Yeah, she's had an awful year. She played her way in at a snail's pace, I'd say. But no, like, and people might write off Maguire and write off her season, but, like, she has a massive opportunity now this week as well. Oh, $4 million jackpot, the CME Group Tour Championship. So $4 million for the winner, £11 million prize purse, largest single prize in the history of women's golf. If she can win, hopefully. Well, it's a big ask. It is a big ask because it's a year she just needs to end very quickly and kind of take stock over the winter, because a lot of stuff went wrong for her, losing Dermot as her caddy, missing 3 cuts in the majors, the Solheim Cup debacle as well. Yeah. Kind of the spotlight of things she would have wanted to go well for her just haven't. Yeah, no, it's been a very frustrating year. Like, where do you stand on Leona? Have we seen the best of her? Do you think she's another gear? I don't think. We have to be careful here not to go into crisis talk as well. Oh no, I'm not. It's just. Like, do I think she'll win again on the LPGA Tour? Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's the right event. Yeah, the right event, and that's what I'm getting into. She doesn't hit the ball far. That's players. I was players coming out. players coming out are only getting younger. What's she, 29 now?
Yeah, she's going to be 30
not
next year. Yeah.
young in women's golf terms, if you get me. So yes, definitely up against her. Look, best bet in a major is probably an Open Championship as well. Oh, AIG Women's Open, sorry. Well, same thing. But yeah, she's a solid LPGA Tour player. I don't think she's anything more than that. Well, I think there's someone who can definitely end her career with 5-6 wins.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah, no, I'd agree with all you're saying there. It's getting increasingly harder and harder. So even in the 4 years now since she's been on the LPGA, like every year there's a new batch of 20, 30 girls coming along that tank it 260, 270, you know, in women's golf are out there. She's average, like if I look at her averages for this week, she's 230 off the tee, like.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, and now she's an assassin with her hybrids and rescues and like you'll give her a 3-wood and she'll stick it inside your sand wedge.
Yeah, but that's
she's that
tough.
good. But it's tough. That's Bernard Langer stuff. Like against Harrington, you can only give up so much for so long, and it's death by 1,000 cuts. Like,
yeah, I'd say that probably does take it out of you as the year goes on.
Absolutely.
But what she's had a great 5 years of just progression, and this is the first year where she struggled. So.
No, we'll catch up with her.
It's almost like it was bound to happen at some stage, but definitely no reason to panic.
Well, no, I'm not panicking, but she's always strikes me as the type. She will get the bit between her teeth and she will work it out again. But it's just, yeah, like I don't think we've seen the best of Leona Maguire yet. I think we will see a resurgence in her form, and yeah, no better week than this week.
Yeah,
when there's money on the line, you know, she's hungry for
big money on the line.
She likes the big money on the line, you know. This new caddy needs a few quid as well, so no, it'll be good. Title went to Nelly Korda, who became the first player since Yanni Zhang in 2011 to win 7 times in a single season, which is incredible.
Oh yeah, by far.
Especially when she's been out injured for 2 months as well.
Yeah, she keeps having these weird health scares every so often as well. But like there was a time she could have won. What was it? She could have won 6 in a row for the first time throughout the season. Like what Scotty Scheffler is doing on the PGA Tour, she was definitely matching as well. Great player, world class player, great for the game. She was doing a swimsuit shoot as well. She's covering all angles now. But it comes from a freakishly good sporting family as well, which is just disgusting.
It is. No, it'd make you sick. It would make you sick. But no, it's good. Charlie Hull up there as well. You know, she'll be disappointed. I think it's one Charlie Hull will look back and go, I should have won that.
Yeah, and she seems to lose out to not better players. That's the right word. Nelly especially as well. But yeah, LPGA, she seems to just come second a lot.
Yeah.
Where I know she got her win at the Aramco, but yeah, she just
who hasn't this year?
yeah, fair. She's just missing that something. I don't know what it is. You see it at the majors as well. She's forever up there, and maybe she hypes herself up too much or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, she's a seriously talented player, and she's had an unbelievably good year. One to watch for next year. But
interesting actually on Nelly. Like, would her season be as incredible if she hadn't won a major? Because she hadn't won one in 3 years up until the Chevron.
Yeah, well, just to do it so early in the season like she did, just kind of lifted the lid off the pressure, and then she just went on a tear. Like, and there's nothing to point towards her not doing it again next year.
Yeah, as long as
she's getting better, as long as she
healthy.
stays injury free, she's getting better, and she's freakishly good.
Scarily good.
Like compared to. It's very hard to go like for like and compare her to like a Scotty Scheffler, but like for what Scotty's up against and what she's up against, the margin of separation from Nelly back to the pack and Scotty back to the pack, I think Nelly's actually a little bit further ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is freakishly good to say that.
Like you speak about the separation, she's nearly twice the amount of points ahead of Ruan Ying, who's world number 2 in like the Rolex rankings,
which is bonkers.
But like
bonkers.
In fairness as well, it didn't entirely go her own way throughout the year. She missed the cut 3 weeks in a row twice, and 2 of those were majors as well. Remember, she had that
the
12
US Open,
on the
she had
par
a
3.
yeah.
And that was that was coming off the run of 5 wins, 7th, another win as well. You thought she was going to just clean the place out at the US Open. So I actually nearly makes it more impressed that she sort of got back on the horse after a pretty dismal spell as well.
Yeah, no. On the LPGA, so that's the season done for people outside the top 60. Then 60 to 100 kept their cards. Unfortunately, Steph Meadow has dropped out to 110, so on paper she's lost her card. Now I'm thinking she has a medical exemption to try and win her card back in as many events she'll get into, but disappointing year for her to drop off the...
Yeah, and she had a very consistent 2 years as well. It looked like she was going to be, not a journeywoman is the right word, but really solid campaigner, and just really hasn't gone her way at all this year. Struggling with injuries, you said, and it just caught up with her. And look, she's not completely gone. She still have a chance to, I'm sure, with some sort of medical exemption, play her way back onto the tour. But those things are easier said than done, I think.
Yeah. Right, little snippets to get into before we get stuck into some of this Ryder Cup stuff and heroes and villains and stuff. Ballyneety announced today. Big news.
Yeah, Junior Ryder Cup. I completely forgotten about this thing. And I was at it last year. No, great news, actually, to be fair. Nice, really good members club down there. So I'm sure they're going to be buzzing now for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it's great. Ready. So they get the first 2 days, the foursomes and the four balls between male and female juniors from Europe and USA. And then the decisive single matches go to Adair Manor. So it's super to see it. It'll just put the place in the map.
Yeah, definitely. And we've a decent history of producing players in that competition as well. Obviously, Sean Keeling last year. The Maguires when the Solheim came to Killeen Castle. So definitely a good time to be from Ballyneety.
Any other little snippets?
I know you have it in your heroes and villains, but I have the Matt Wallace, Tyrrell Hatton.
Yeah, we leave them till heroes and villains, right? Let's get stuck into this Ryder Cup pay thing. What are your thoughts on it? Like it's.
I can understand why the players that want to be paid, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
but I can understand why. Like the Ryder Cup generates so much money, they're obviously. I know, yeah, but and to think in the modern day, like there's competitions you're not paid to play and is not dated, but it's not really keeping up with the times, I think.
There's aesthetics to this, and I just think it's filthy around the top of the game. I think the Europeans have hit the nail on the head. Like Lowry has come out really strong about it. McGinley's coming out really strong about it. Rory's come out really hot on it about the pay for stuff. Like they don't need the money. If they want money involved, right, just give it to a fucking charity. Like if they do. Yeah, I know they do.
They do. Well, they're supposed to.
They're supposed to, yeah. But like when in a year of the PGA Tour side, you look at that side and like when you see how big the pay scale and disparity is between PGA Tour pros, which most Ryder Cup players are, compared to everything else in golf, and you look at the players, it's just all take. Charity donations on the PGA Tour, who are a listed charity with their whatever it is, the 501c, whatever they operate under, like their charitable donations this year are down by well over 2/3.
Yeah,
because like they're doing it on borrowed money, and they're like, I don't see why the players, like the Ryder Cup is different. Why
that's the point. Like that's why I understand where they're coming from, but I completely disagree with it because McIlroy said it himself. The Ryder Cup and the Olympics are probably the two purest competitions we have in men's golf anyway at the moment, but it's overall a very American thing. I don't think this would ever come out of a European side. Don't think they would have ever started this.
Because you feel like you're pissing on Seve's grave.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is we're all big about legacy.
We're emotionally charged about it.
We're very much, about passion and what the Ryder Cup means and adding to the traditions of the contest. And even the thing like Tony Jacklin bought when he was calving, bought his players a gift, and that's something that's carried on as well even to today. So we're big on that, and that's why like it's a complete no-no from a European point of view. Like the whole thing that we seem to think that the Ryder Cup means a lot more to us than it does to them. I think it's absolutely true, and this kind of just adds to that as well. And like I honestly, the more I think about it, and you're very much a bit of a bing bang basher when it comes to Europe beating the USA. In fairness, you think we'll do a job on them in New York, yeah. And now I like would have thought that was just nonsense, but I actually genuinely I'm starting to believe it. They've Keegan Bradley as their captain, probably one of the most divisive figures in golf. Like he's not particularly well liked. You've got this now, and this whole passion versus pay now. That's obviously going to suit us. Yeah. Like this could be a shambles for the USA, because it's clearly driven by one or two golfers as well, who we can all guess who they are, and they're all going to be on that team as well.
Yeah. No, listen, there's a lot of politics involved on the American side. I think the togetherness we have in Europe, I know because I did an interview recently with Paul McGinley as well that we'll have coming out in our next print edition on how bullish he is about the next Ryder Cup as well, and what he's doing behind the scenes for Luke Donald, what he did in the last Ryder Cup. He doesn't give much away in processes, but like an away task force on this, like this is it's just going to be such a great year.
We need to get McGinley to do a Mick Byrne coming out onto the first tee in front of like all the away fans. We'll do them for you today.
We'll do them for you today, boys. Walk through. No, I've never been as wired up for a Ryder Cup as I am from the one next year. You'll go. Will you go?
If I am, I have to sort it out pretty quickly.
Yeah. Nah, you'll go to that one. I wouldn't mind going myself now as well, but like I think we'll only get one media pass. But no, it'll be a serious event. But yeah, the pay and play thing, yeah, I just can't get my head around it. But
I've read a lot. I've listened to a lot of like American sided conversation on it, and they're all kind of on board with it, whereas we're completely against it. Now again, I do understand where they're coming from. Like,
I just think I'm against the principle of it.
Yeah, but like people are saying that college football players should be paid, given how popular it is. And so if you think of that with the Ryder Cup as well, you can see the point. No, but it's wrong. It's not in good taste, and it's not in what the competition obviously represents.
Yeah, no one watches college football outside the States. Like it's
but like it's massive.
Yeah, it is. I know it is, but like they're amateurs. Right, heroes and villains. We start off with heroes. I'm just Rory McIlroy. It's Holywood Golf Club. Rory McIlroy, Tom McKibbin. But I'd give it to Rory just on the season that he's had, what he's had to deal with this year. I just think it's a great way for him to end the year, and I'm bullish about 2025.
Yeah, McIlroy and McKibbin are the obvious ones. I probably still go Max Kennedy, to be fair. Yeah, I think the effort he put in there was really, really good. Like in a Q school, that from an Irish point of view, in my opinion, was pretty shambolic. Yeah, it was a shambolic effort altogether. To do what he did was really encouraging, and it does give you a bit of hope for the future. Like, because at the moment he's going to vault himself up to probably being our sixth best player at the moment. Yeah, just by the chance he's given himself now. Right, the big one, the villains. Pair with him. John Craven called him out in the column this morning. Called them gobshites. And he's right. Matt Wallace, Tyrrell Hatton. Like, more Hatton than Wallace. Wallace did something stupid on one hole. And he's an absolute gobshite for what he did. Like, digging a hole in the fairway and walking away from it, hitting a bad shot. You just don't do it. If he repaired it, like,
you'd say grand.
Yeah, we all do it. Yeah. We've all done it.
But this is not a first-time offender. Matt Wallace is a serial arsehole on tour. Like, we've seen him in action before. I sit in the fence. I don't sit in the fence with Matt Wallace. I just don't like him. I just don't like him as an individual.
He's a nice guy.
I know. I don't.
I've been with him. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that. I just don't like his antics the way. Whereas, and I'm a total hypocrite when I say this, I actually like Tyrrell Hatton.
Oh, so do I. I love Tyrrell.
He went too far this weekend. It was just too much. The pantomime thing is just... It's getting a bit old now. It's too much. But
and he's in contention as well. Yeah. There's no reason to...
A little 1 foot putt that he made. Like, he's doing himself in.
Yeah.
just
And that
throwing
all
the
just
toys out of the
stems from that whole thing as well. But it's so funny, like his little rant on the 18th, the day before.
Yeah.
That's content gold. That's hilarious.
I know, yeah.
I
Like,
absolutely loved it. And then you're like, that's
what
why
a
I love
stupid
him.
hole. He knows
That's
the
why I
mics
love
are
him.
there, like, and he's like, what a stupid hole. Like,
That's when he's
no
lined
shot
up
here.
to take a shot. Like,
Yeah, I
he's literally addressing the ball. This is terrible. And then he just does what he does. And you and Murray summed it up well. Like, fair enough if it happens once in the blue moon. Like, McIlroy does it as well.
Yeah.
They all do it. They all, like, Larry is probably one of the, he can run fairly close to the collar as well.
Yeah, he loves a hot mic, yeah.
Yeah. And but Hatton just snapping the club, like, I just don't get it.
Takes it to a new level. No, there's just no need for it. So, yeah, single them out as both of them villains. More Matt Wallace now, but yeah, that's just...
But, like, we all, like, it's stating the obvious, but it does set a terrible example for the next generation as well. So, like, as slow play does and everything else, you need to include that in it as well.
Yeah. One thing that annoys me, like Sky Sports as well, they've done a great job with Golf Wise this year. We've been spoiled with the access and stuff like that. Just stop apologising for players cursing, please.
Yeah.
Like, let them at it. If you don't want microphones there, switch them off. But like, you don't. Like, they're literally apologising every 5 minutes. Oh, sorry if you heard a bit of language there. Like, no one cares.
Same with football or industrial language. If you're watching a sporting event and you're getting offended by the odd curse word, then the problem really is yourself.
Exactly. No, exactly. So yeah, we're getting a lot off our chest today. A lot done. A lot done. More to do.
We've had like 4 or 5 weeks to just stew on stuff.
Yeah. No, but anything else you want to bring up? I think that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Actually, one thing on the slow play, I think there was only 120 players playing in that Buttercup, Butter Your Bread, both sides tournament. Didn't get one of the rounds finished. Only 120 players in the field. The hell is going on there?
Oh, it's a blight on the game. Wait till you see this week going into the CME Globe.
Yeah,
like that'll be a snail fest.
But I like we say how poor the PGA Tour is. I never really notice slow play too much in Europe when you're watching. Maybe it's the way they.
It's the way they televise it. Yeah. You're at live golf a lot. It is methodical. Like when you're at Q School there a couple of weeks ago, it's borderline madness how slow some of these guys are and how process driven it all is, and
you do notice it more because you could be the only one there standing at the side of a green.
Absolutely, like it's just guys just not pulling the trigger and standing over things. Like the worst for me is on the greens, aim point. I just think aim point should be banned. It's this guy, like I played golf recently with a guy that's aim pointing like 2 and 3 foot putts. I'm just going, what the? But like what? I just don't get it. It's alien to me.
And his handicap is?
Yeah, he was off scratch.
Was he?
Yeah, no, he was good. In
I
fairness,
thought you were going to say 12 or something.
No, he was good. He was a good player, but I just, I just don't. I don't know. I on the greens, it just slows the whole thing down. There's a lot of stuff needs to be done, but yeah, that's slow play is a blight in the game. Yeah, we're ending this on a sour note now.
We are. Yeah, we've fallen out with ourselves
on Holywood Golf Club. We're falling out. Right. I think that's it for the week. We'll knock it on the head there. Like I said, we'll put up the recording Ronan did out in Q School out at the
Challenge Tour Grand
Final. Getting tongue tied here. With Connor Purcell. That'll be up during the week, and we'll be back again next week. Hopefully with more good news with Leona. But cheers to Flowgas for sponsoring the podcast. Cheers for you for tuning in, and we'll be back again next week. Cheers, bye.